and welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
And I'm Chris Costa.
So Chris, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I was hoping we could cover maybe finished goods inventory. It seems like after deductions, my quantities, my counts are always off.
Okay, let's take a look at finished goods and shipping, and we can go over how to do that.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
Let me open an order here, an estimating order entry that I know has finished goods. So my order here, I'm going to go from here, I'll select shipping, and we'll get into the shipping module. Now I'm going to start by adding a shipment, and I'm going to just use my sold to as the address, and now I'm going to add a package. Now you'll notice here I have two finished good components. In this particular order I have two different business card finished good items.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to add a shipment in finished goods, the first thing that comes up, or excuse me, a package in finished goods, the first thing that comes up is it asks you what component you want to ship.
Right, right.
The very first one is 0 for all components.
Mm-hmm.
Now that may be where you're having a problem. If you just select that 0 for a finished good type of job that has multiple components, the system's not going to know how many to deduct, and that may be where you're having a problem.
Okay, yep.
You should only use that 0 for maybe print jobs where if there are multiple components, but maybe the first component's a cover and the other components are parts of a book, but together all the components make one item.
Okay,
then you
makes
can
sense.
use the all components.
Sure.
So in this case, because this is finished goods and each component would be a different item and potentially a different quantity, I'm going to select the particular component I'm shipping in this package, and then it will come up with the quantity for that particular item, and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to add another package, and I'm going to select my second component and click OK, and it comes up with the quantity for the second component, and click OK again and OK again. So now I have one shipment with two packages with two different quantities.
Okay.
Now if I had picked all components and then typed in 1,500 as the total quantity, when I deducted that in finished goods, it would have deducted 1,500 for the first item and 1,500 for the second. So I would have had my inventory off.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that may be what's happening to you.
Sure. All right.
Okay.
Now, what about for finished good orders where I don't have enough in inventory?
All right, well, let's take a look at that. Actually, this particular item, let's go into inventory right now and see what I've got for these two items. So I'm going to close here and go into my finished good inventory. And here are my two items. So in this case, I have a quantity of 400 and I have a quantity of 750. Not enough to ship for those particular order.
Right, right.
So let's go back into shipping. I'm going to select my job. And let's hit the deduct button. And click proceed. Now the system is telling me I don't have enough on hand for component 1. But I want to go ahead and ship these anyway because I want to ship out what I have in stock for now.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to click on yes. And again, it's going to say I don't have enough for component 2 either, and I'm going to say yes. Now you'll notice that the system automatically changed the quantities here from 500 and 1,000 to 400 and 750, which is what I had in stock and inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what's going to it deducted, and that's what it changed the shipping records to.
Okay.
So now I'm going to complete the job. I'm going to click complete, say OK here, and it goes into back order status.
Okay.
Okay, so now you know that you are back ordered for those particular items, and then when your stock replenishes, you can ship those back orders.
Okay. All right, perfect. Now, just because the job status might be back order, that's not going to prevent me from creating an invoice or anything. Correct?
Absolutely not. And actually, let's go over to invoicing for a minute. I want to show you something there. In system settings in AR, there is a new option that says invoice finished goods by component only. Now, not only do you have to ship by component for a finished good order, but you have to invoice by component.
Okay.
So you should have that checked if you're using finished goods, and then it will invoice by component. Now, if you've got a back-ordered order and you want to be able to invoice what you've shipped, you can do that by creating a partial invoice. You won't be able to close out the job because it's not ready to be closed out.
Right, right.
But you'll be able to partially invoice it, and we actually have a Tech Talk video on partial invoicing if you want to learn how to do that.
Excellent. Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's.
And then I guess the last question would just be, how do I go ahead and ship the remainder?
Okay. Well, what you can do is come into shipping again and click on the back orders button, and it will tell you here what you have back ordered. So I can see here that this is the job that's in back order and these are the quantities back ordered. Now of course I have to go into my inventory and replenish it first. So and that might be by receiving some of these inventory and shipping, or maybe you're making these particular items and you're going to ship them to inventory from a print order. I'm just going to go in and make an adjustment to increase my inventory at this point. So I'm going to add, say, 1,000 to this order, to this item. And I know my cost, I'll put that in and click OK. So now I can refresh this screen and see that I've got 1,000 or 10,000 in inventory, sorry. And I'll do the same here. I'm going to go to my transaction screen, click on Add, and I'll add a quantity of 1,000 here, and I'll put in my cost. Click OK. And I can come back to my items and refresh the list, and now I've got 1,000 there. So now I'm ready to go back into shipping, click on back orders, select the job, and now you'll notice this button doesn't say add anymore, it says ship back orders.
Right, right.
So I'm going to click on that button, click on my use sold to, and now when I click on add and select the component, it'll just bring in the quantity that was back ordered. And I can click on add again for the next package for my next item, click on OK again and OK again. And now I can highlight this second shipment that has my back-ordered items, deduct them from inventory, and now when I complete the job, it'll go into complete status. And now that job is ready to be final billed and closed out.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I think that was pretty good.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
And I'm Chris Costa.
Please look forward to more episodes to come.